know, in November of 2022, the political landscape in the state of Michigan changed in a way that we could not have anticipated. We flipped the House, we flipped the Senate. We held on to the governor's office and the Secretary of State and the Attorney General, and we we held on to the Supreme Court. So we really, and some of us will believe that it was women and their allies. It was voters, not politicians, that paved the way for Proposal 3 and a change, a remarkable change that women brought about in the state of Michigan. So while we could offer many awards for that undertaking that involved many people, we do have a couple that we're going to acknowledge tonight. And it was back in October of 2022, the election going to come up in November. Here we are, mid-October. Did we have any t-shirts? Did we have any signs? Did we have any literature here in Muskegon County? I'm here to tell you, we had nothing. And we kept getting promises from the ACLU that something would be coming. But what would happen would be the truck loaded with materials would leave Royal Oak, and then it would travel perhaps to some of the suburbs, travel to Ann Arbor, go to Lansing, go to Flint, go to Kalamazoo, go to Grand Rapids, and when it came time to go to Muskegon, was there anything left in the truck? There was nothing left in the truck. And we called and said, you know, we didn't get anything. And it happened again, and it happened again. So finally, luckily, our awardee decided to take matters into her own hands and hooked a trailer to her car and headed down to the warehouse in Kalamazoo, got a whole bunch of materials for us, brought it back to Muskegon, but then the ACLU is nonpartisan, so we couldn't just deliver all of this to the CIO hall and use the Democratic Party headquarters for our distribution point. We had to come up with something, and we were scrambling. And luckily, thankfully for us, our awardee said, well, you can use my garage if you want. And I said, well, that's really nice of you, but do you know you'll have people just coming, strangers, maybe all hours of the day and night? And she said, that's okay. And I said, well, do you know we'll have to put your phone number and your address on social media and send it out and give it out, and it'll be all over the place. And she said, that's okay. And let me tell you, if you were me, you were just so happy that someone was willing to just put herself out there and be a distribution point for all of our materials that we would, all of our signs and all of our lit. And so that persistent woman who loaded up her trailer, we would like her to come up and present her with one of our annual, nevertheless, She Persisted awards.
We road tripped all over to get all those signs. Oh, everywhere. We went everywhere. show this to all of you who shared my phone number last year. So thank you.
So a little more sobering is the story of our second awardee, and she also got a call from the ACLU, and the ACLU asked her if she'd be willing to share her story in the media in order to bring attention to the need for Proposal 3. And her story was very personal and sad of a ultrasound that took place at about 20 weeks of her pregnancy, and it was identified by the doctors that this baby was not viable, was not going to live. And it was recommended that she have an abortion at that time rather than to continue to carry this fetus. And unfortunately, we have some very draconian health insurance regulations that are still on the books. And so in order for her to have the abortion, she wound up owing thousands and thousands of dollars that she and her husband had to pay off over a period of years. So that would be a sad part of the story. But the next part of the story is the ACLU called upon her again and said, you know, we have to be nonpartisan, so you are not closely affiliated with any of the parties in your area, so would you be in charge of the campaigning and canvassing in the area surrounding Muskegon County? And fortunately for us, she said sure. And one of these things was to organize a big kickoff canvass on a certain Saturday, and again, we're talking pretty late in the game, but she said sure. And had she ever canvassed before? She had never canvassed before. But as we would say, nevertheless, she persisted. And I'd like to ask Amanda Mazur to please come up.
This means a lot coming from this group. They really took me under their wing and showed me how it was done. So thank you all for the embrace during what was definitely out of my comfort zone. But it was a good experience and a great win. And of course, I wouldn't be a good abortion rights activist if I didn't let you all know that the Reproductive Health Act is going before a committee for the House Health Policy Thursday this week, and so hopefully it'll be introduced into the legislature soon. And so I encourage you all to contact your representatives and vocalize your support and encourage others to do so, because as Dana mentioned, there are Donna, sorry. There are still some laws on the books that are really restrictive, and I experienced them firsthand, and a lot of other folks, you know, they aren't as fortunate as me. So please advocate for this passing of this package, and thank you all.
So just a little quick footnote to the story was one of the signs that Daisy and her friends brought back was a great big 4x8 heavy corrugated sign. And my vice president and chair of this event, Pam Red, said, I know just the place to put that. So she and I trudged out with this great big sign, some big posts, and she found a spot on Marquette on the causeway. And we got it up there, and then the next morning she called me and said, it's gone. So then we were undeterred also and went out, and this sign was so big and so bulky, they really couldn't get rid of it very easily. They had just thrown it off into the side. So we got it back out and put it back up. Trying to get the best of us. And then, of course, it happened again. I went out and got a spotlight at Home Depot at the time. Maybe that would help. But at any rate, this went out a little, but we were saved by Election Day. It had to be over, and we won. So next, I left a little time for Ellen Beal to present another award from PDWC.
Hi, everybody. I gotta move this down for the short version. First, I want to thank Pam Rudd and the committee for putting on this wonderful event tonight. Congratulations. Last night I had a dream that I forgot what I had written to announce who was going to be named the Young Feminist. So I made sure I have it tonight, and I want to talk a little bit about our Kiley, and she's here with her mom. I met Kiley on December 9th, 2021. Why do I remember? Because I took a picture of this vibrant young woman at the CIO Hall for the monthly Muskegon County Democratic Party meeting. When we met, she told me that she was an MCC student, Patsy Petty's honorary granddaughter, and she wanted a future in politics. Her grandfather, Lonnie Jackson, had been a Muskegon County Commissioner. I, of course, tried to recruit her to run against Doug Brown, which is the seat now held by Jessica Cook. I was the chair of the candidate recruitment committee. But Kiley had a plan. She first had to finish her education at MCC and then graduate from Grand Valley State University with a major in political science, which she will do in record time in the spring of 2024. Along the way, she has established herself as the most up-and-coming young Democratic leader in Muskegon